Imagine you are woman ravishing your man from up top and about 10 minutes in, unknowingly squirting watery liquid all over your partner. Imagine that so much of this liquid gushes out that it spills over onto the bed, soaking the sheets and mattress, fills up their belly button. If you didn't know to expect it, I'd bet it would completely surprise you both. This is exactly what happened to me and my partner. We both wondered how it had just happened without any intentional effort. And so I became determined to understand the process behind it. I wanted to know, how do women squirt or ejaculate? A lot of women associate the accumulation of ejaculate fluid with the sensations of needing to urinate because of the pressure that builds up near the bladder. The scientific community has long debated the origins of this liquid ejaculate, or the Amrita orgasm, as it's called amongst tantric practitioners. While those who study spiritual sexual traditions have known for some time that this liquid is a lot more than just urine, it's really not urine at all. In some cultures, it is considered the mythical fountain of youth. This ejaculate contains close to 700 proteins, 685 according to this study to be exact, including what was once called prostate-specific antigen, PSA. PSA is no longer considered prostate-specific, as it has been located in female ejaculate, salivary glands, amniotic fluid, breast tissue, and more. The origin of this liquid is indeed not the bladder, and it isn't urine. Amrita, or female ejaculate, is a mostly clear substance that is produced by the urethral sponge when it's stimulated. The urethral sponge lives very near to the back of the clitoris and wraps around the urethra, hence why it feels to so many women like the urge to urinate when stimulated and engorged. The orgasm itself is accompanied with feelings of expansiveness, euphoria, and emotional freedom. It occurs when a woman feels most comfortable to express her sexual desire and pleasure with complete abandon, or what tantrics consider the state of surrender. And unlike clitoral orgasms, experiencing an Amrita orgasm feels less like hitting a peak and more like a luscious, energetic waterfall of love is pouring from the heart through your G-spot and all over your thighs, and probably your partner's too. Located near the G-spot, the urethral sponge, which is more commonly referred to as female prostate, is made of erectile tissue, which fills with water from our blood plasma, which is funneled and retained by the capillaries when stimulated and aroused. The female prostate swells as it captures this liquid, and the capillaries work with the Skene's glands to create the fountain, which releases this nectar. It flows out through the urethra, because the Skene's glands themselves end through openings in the urethra. All about G-spot orgasm class, only $39. Tips for experiencing female ejaculation. Also referred to as squirting, female ejaculation is an exciting topic these days. That's probably because the anatomy of female pleasure is a relatively new focus in the scientific community, and because female sexual liberation is becoming less and less taboo. We're discovering more and more about the G-spot and all other things female pleasure. Thank goodness. I am willing to bet that since you've read this far, you're looking for some tips on how exactly to bring this about, this very pleasurable and unique event. Here are 5 that should get you on the right track. Make sure both partners feel safe, comfortable, and cared for. This is always my first piece of advice when advising folks on how to have better sex. Great intimacy starts with great communication and feelings of security. These feelings are achieved in different ways by different people. Before obsessing over orgasm, make sure you know what your needs and standards are in intimacy. Take time before entering the vaginal canal. Even before inserting a finger or toy, the vagina needs to be warmed up. This means that everything from setting the mood to starting with a light body, breast, womb, or yoni, Sanskrit term for female sex center, meaning sacred source, massage, to playing sexy music, to having a delicious makeout session, to some gentle clitoral play might be in order before actually penetrating the vaginal canal. Take your time and enjoy the process of arousal. Locate the G-spot. It is often described as having ridges, yet being in spongy texture and located about 2 inches up on the anterior wall of the vaginal canal. Once found, the pressure applied in order to stimulate the G-spot should start out light and gentle. If stimulation is too uncomfortable or too painful, I recommend taking a course on yoni deer mooring, which focuses on memory and trauma release of anything stored in the vaginal and sex center tissues. Using fingers or toys made specifically for the G-spot, click here to check out Levensi's range of G-spot stimulators. Begin exploring movements to determine what feels best. Sometimes tilting the hips forward or back to find the right angle can be helpful while the G-spot is stimulated in circular movements, up and down or side to side. Breathe deeply and make sounds. The reason tantrics are so familiar with this particular type of orgasm is because it is achieved when a woman is open emotionally, free of anxiety, and feeling completely safe to express herself as comes naturally. These are all characteristics that, if holding on to any harmful emotions, a woman may not be able to access within herself. Breathing and sound-based practices help people move through and release harmful emotions that would otherwise hinder their experiences of pleasure. Pro tip, sound and breath can assist in achieving any and many types of orgasm, not just Amrita Orgasm. I talk more in depth about sounds in my article, Top 5 Potent Tips for More Ecstatic Sex. Stimulate the clitoris or stimulate the most desirable parts of the body too. More blood flow to the genitals as a result of heightened arousal equals a more engorged vulva and vagina, which equals a lot more water to capture through the urethral sponge. I bet you can guess what that means. Yep, a higher likelihood of experiencing the exciting, elusive, and unique phenomenon of female ejaculation. Take your time. This message is manyfold. With Amrita Orgasms, you can practice edging to build your waters. That's right, women can practice orgasm edging as well. Build a swell in the G-spot area and move the focus to another pleasure point. You also want to take your time with your touch, as described above. However, most importantly, there should be absolutely no pressure to ejaculate or perform on a woman exploring this new and completely natural experience. The timing of Amrita has omni components, such as the state of her emotions and the comfort with stimulation. Any pressure, expectation, or fear of disappointment can and most likely will prevent a G-spot orgasm from happening. So now that you have a few very helpful hints, it's time to get started on your blissful journey to female ejaculation. Oh, and one more thing, you might want to lay down a towel. Happy squirting. P.S. Amrita fluid, also known as moonflower medicine, has been so revered in many cultures for its spiritual properties that it has borne myths and legends across the world, including the story in this Rwandan documentary and this artfully curated French piece on feminine pleasures, along with metaphorical implications of the divine power of the chalice and its potent nectar, such as communion in the Catholic Church, and ancient references to its creative, sensual, and emotional powers from the likes of Hippocrates, Aristotle, and Taoist sages who propositioned men to seek it out as a powerful male enhancement and path towards immortality.